Hi guys, welcome to the Music B&B. My name is Callum, a sick version of Callum, because I'm quite poorly right now. And today we are listening to an artist known as Ebola Hunter with the album Sakuya's Requiem. Now, I'm going to give you the shorthand version of the description of this album. The album is a depiction of humanity's replacement and enslavement with machine. The entire population is filled with armless girls trying to destroy the mainframe, while others lay out blissfully. If you didn't understand what that meant, that's okay. I have done an interview, which you can check out. I'll link it above right now. An interview with Ebola Hunter. You can find out more about him. I tell you what, after my interview with him, I came away a bit more confused about his discography after listening to him talking about it. Very, very interesting human being, and it was amazing to have an interview with him. So let's start with our first song. Here we go. Our first song is called Ted Kaczynski. Okay, loving this sort of garage vibes, UK garage kind of vibes here. So, Ebola Hunter likes to cover a lot of genres: dark, ambient, drum and bass, trance, house, no wave, ambient, left field, alternative rock, jungle, hardcore, Eurobeat, dark wave, breakcore, breakbeat, and cold wave. It's just among the lists of the stuff we're going to be listening to today. Starting with a nice sort of jungle beat, interesting timing to it. Okay. This is the kind of thing you need to sort of sit and trance yourself to, like listening to a lot of this. Kind of quite long-winded passages. Apologies if I cough during this. Okay, we've got a change now. Very, like, unnerving sounds here. I don't know how to feel about this. I feel a bit, on edge. I guess that's the point. Just kind of match the imagery of some enslavement, something going wrong. Quite long tracks on this one. This is 5 minutes and 48 seconds. But it still isn't the longest one on here. The longest one we have is 9 minutes and 51 seconds, which is in the main matrix. We could be in for a long ride here, guys. Hold tight. See, the thing is, like, I'm a man who enjoys a lot of change up. I am very quick to bore. And in today's world of just like instant everything, I feel like I need changes more often. And especially with instrumental music, I always feel like I need some sort of human voice, something to cling to. I don't mean like a melody or a hook. Maybe some vocals, a narrative to go along with, perhaps. But the human voice is something that's instantly recognizable and familiar to lots of people, and that's why we enjoy hearing the human voice. So these have been very long passages where occasionally just adding in one other synth, but how we're building to that next thing. It seems like, at this point now I'm just going to add another synth on and let it play for 2 minutes. And then I'm going to add another synth on, let it play for 2 minutes. But my question is, how are you building to this? Where are your gaps? Silence is golden. Removing the drums, bringing them back in. All these kind of techniques make for a more interesting thing. Yes, I get this long sort of trancey kind of thing that goes on for ages, but it doesn't mean you can't add in tiny elements that can make a song come to life. Think about your ear candy. Where's your ear candy? Where are those little bits that are coming in? Adding another synth on top and then play the same loop for a minute, that's not ear candy. I was expecting to hear like little electrical sounds and mechanical whirs kind of going on, perhaps. Perhaps some robotic voices, things to create a narrative in this world that we're making in this album. You've got the basics, but where's the sprinkles on the cake? Where's the candle? Where's the flame? Where's all the extra stuff? It feels like you almost clicked on the corner of your sound loop and just gone. Just 5 minutes of that. And to hear 5 minutes of the same drum beat can get quite tiring to listen to. Almost becomes annoying at a certain point, like a form of torture. You know how like people used to play Barney the dinosaur to Prisoners, that song over and over again. It's that kind of fatigue that you feel towards the end of hearing the same beat for 5 minutes. So I'm kind of hoping with this one that we're on now, our next track, I'm not sure why it's not showing up on my screen, usually it does, but it's called Efforts in Vain. Let's hope it's not the same jungle type beat for 7 minutes. And they're all nice beats, but you hear too much of a good thing. They do all sound like this sort of electronic dystopian world. They do sound like that, which is good. I can feel like the picture, the artwork, the concept is good. Like, it seems to be working right now. You kind of feel like you just need a narrator, a voice going, and then the girl, enslaved by her own blah blah blah, fell to the ground. She became whatever, you know. Almost that kind of narrative would work really well. But yeah, I'm feeling this is a 7-minute track of the same sound. Eventually another synth's going to come on top to make it sound a bit different. And really we're just layering on top of something that's not changing. So I'm hoping these aren't just like all tracks of one sound throughout. I get that songs can be that. I get that all songs don't need to be verse, chorus, verse, chorus. But if there's not enough change, audience is going to be like, ugh. I mean, there are people that are into this, so don't get me wrong. Music is subjective. And I could listen to this, but I don't feel it's the kind of album that a person should react to, should give their entire focus to. It's not the kind of thing you sit down and just listen to. It's something you might have on in the background while you're doing something else. Chill music in the background while you're typing up something, while you're doing your homework, while you're doing your chores. It's not something you sit down and just listen to. I'm enjoying that ominous swell in the background, is nice. My, these truly are just long tracks of the same beat. I don't know how much I'm going to have to say, but we're only the second track in. This is an hour and 13 minutes long too. I think I may go mad at the end of this. We'll see. I think I might do a cut-up version of this just for maybe the periods of silence where I'm listening to the same stuff. How much can one man say over the same sound he's heard for the past 3 minutes? Oh, finally, the drum beat stopped. Okay, our next song, when we get to it, is Human Obsolescence. This one isn't so long, it's only 5 minutes. That was 7.5. Lovely minutes. These are all nice dystopian sounding tracks and it fits the artwork perfectly, but there's not enough evolving within the songs to keep interest. We need ear candy. We need things dropping, bringing back in. We need things adding and going away. We need space to breathe. Human Obsolescence, this is. Okay, this is very strange because it's not even looped in time. The drum stops and then it comes back in off the beat. There. And the synths aren't even in time. It's very peculiar. And that wind sound, okay. Quite a bit of different stuff going on though. It's a bit more interesting in terms of new things that are coming in. Question is this grating sound going to be playing for the next 4 minutes? Turns out the grating sound is continuing and driving one rather mad. Okay, we got this whoop 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 synth sound coming in. It definitely does sound like how torturous it would be to be enslaved by a computer. This is what I imagine it would sound in your head if you were plugged into like this mainframe and, you know, falling victim to it. I don't know. I don't even know if that's what the artists are going for, that kind of imagery. Yay. Wait, it stopped. 19 seconds of silence? Is this just pure silence? For just cut off? Give me 20 seconds of silence? Not that I don't have enough to listen to. You've offered me 20 seconds of silence. Thank you so much. Okay, this is the last authentic pure human. I am the last authentic pure human. I am the last authentic pure human. I kind of feel like if this song's called The Last Authentic Pure Human, it should sound a bit more acoustic and free-flowing and not at all robotically looped. That's just a thought. Loads of these jungle sounds, but they're too repetitive and they don't change enough. Could have at least had like 2 jungle beats swapping between the 2 or something, you know. Okay, that synth sound is very interesting. Quite a cool arpeggio. Doesn't sound like the last authentic pure human. It sounds like the last, the first robot. The chaos is fun. The picture of this chaos is fun. But I feel like this album could have been traded in a much more concise, controlled manner to really tie it together. And there have been more changes from synths than in other tracks, though, on this one. So, that's a thing. There's always like a half-minute ending where basically the drums are dropped and then it's just the synths. And that's very predictable. Now I can bet that's going to happen for the following 5-6 tracks that we have left. Okay, here we come to one of our longer tracks. It's called All Actions Decided by Core Mainframe. Okay, it feels quite 80s in its synth. Yep. By the way, this is an artist that has an 8-hour album, I think. 8 hours, which I can imagine is just so much looped stuff. I mean, that is dedication to looping. And don't get me started in the artist's name, Ebola Hunter. Ebola Hunter. I mean, that is the name just spells chaos too. I mean, go and listen to the interview to find out where that inspiration of that name came from. It's very interesting. But yeah. Hi, I'm in minute 6. Oh, and we've just had something new. It's not enough new to keep me interested, though. I think Ebola Hunter, who asked me to listen to this, just wants to see me suffer. And I think he's enjoying it. My prediction was right. The drums dropped out and we have some synthy sounds at the end. Our next song is called Enough Intelligence to Manipulate the Mainframe. Whole bunch of silence. There's so much repetition in this. I just feel like I'm being sucked into this void of repetition. I'm gonna come out like brainwashed. I feel like this is the musical version of Hypnotoad from Futurama. Not even a bass line. I would just love to hear like a groovy bass line, like do 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 dum bum ba da ba dum bum bum ba ba da bum bum ba da da dum dum dum. You know, something. And drop those drums out just for a moment. Give the track space to breathe, then bring it back in, please. So yeah, I at this point I can't even be bothered to say, oh, there's a new synth, because they're just being laid on top, and it's not interesting anymore. I'm sorry. I am sorry. If you're watching this and you disagree, please let me know in the comments. If you agree, please let me know that I'm not the only one that is finding this monotonous. I mean, you're just watching the cut up bits of me listening to it. Go and listen to all of it. Let me know how far you get. I can imagine you could get quite far if you listen to this, you know, falling asleep or putting it on in the background while you're doing something, but I dare you to sit in the middle of the day and listen to this for an hour. Doing nothing else but listening. If you can do it, amazing, amazing. I think what we as artists tend to forget is that the listener isn't going to experience it the same way we do. The listener doesn't get the feel of how you felt when you made it. The listener doesn't get the feel of you messing around with the instruments and adding things and taking them away, and the flow and the feel you had when you made it. They don't get any of that. They just get the end result. So you got to think like a listener. What would a listener like to hear? And I'm not saying a mainstream listener. I'm just saying any listener. Think about what any listener would like to hear. Think about your favorite artists. What are the little things they do that tip a good track into a great track? Because the problem is here, we've got a lot of good tracks that are tipping into bad tracks because there isn't enough happening. This is the longest track. It's called Cyberdoll. It's 10 minutes and 53 seconds. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. Ooh. The drums stopped and there's synth sounds. This one's 2 minutes of just synth sounds. I mean, it's good. And loads of silence. Yay. Okay, our next song is called Your Wealth is an Illusion. Oh. Surprised to hear jungle drums on loop. Oh, wait, no we're not. Yeah, I don't even know if I fancy listening to the rest of it. I'm sorry, but I've got apparently another 20 minutes and it's just 3 tracks. And when you've heard the first track, you've heard every track. See, this kind of like xylophone thing, you could have done a whole solo there. Varied and different based on the key, but it's just a loop that's been found and copied. There's not much originality. There's not much originality in copying and pasting and looping all the time. There's a time and a place for it, but the looping is unreal. And I get it, there are plenty of people that do looping like this, you know, club people, but they like to, after 3 minutes, they'll merge it into something else or a new sound and it'll just keep going. This is the same sound, and then I get another track, which is another same sound for 9 minutes, and then it's another same sound, and it's a lot of the same sound. This is glitches in the Matrix. It sounds quite upbeat, and it does sound like a glitch in the Matrix. I think this is my favourite track of the album. But it's still incredibly repetitive. I just like the sound. It just sounds very glitchy. We're hearing hearing for so long is driving me mad. 4 minutes in. Oh, what's going on? The drums are going quieter. Drums are dropping for once. Sounds almost like a UFO spacecraft kind of sound. Interesting. Yeah, it's the best track of the album because there's a lot going on. more going on. I wouldn't say a lot. There's more going on than any other tracks. But oh my word, 10 minutes. Just below 10 minutes. Our last song is called Nikola Tesla. I think that's the person who invented the Tesla coil. Could be wrong, but let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong. What is with all the silence at the end of each track? Like, another jungle type beat. It's like they went to the loops page on their door, found a jungle beat, put it in, click loop, dragged it along the project, and then did the same with a synth. During the interview, I was kind of amazed that Ebola Hunter could put out so many albums. I think 9 or 10 albums in 2023. That's a lot of albums in 2023. But now listening to this, I can see exactly why there's 9 to 10 albums in 2023, because this stuff is pretty easy to make if you loop it long enough and add on just a few synths. Kind of similar synth sound to, I think, the first track. That eerie kind of synth sound. Come on, we're nearly there. Yes. Yes. We did it. We got there. Oof. Okay. Let's get to rating this album. Oh no, 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 no more. No! I was just trying to play it back again so you could get the picture up. I like to rate my albums on 5 criteria. The first one is the flow, and then it's the lyrics, then it's the artwork, then it's production, and then it's the singing. I give it a 10 out of 10 for each. I give it 10 out of 10. Nope. I give a mark out of 10 for each. This is definitely not 10 out of 10 for each. A mark out of 10 for each, and then do an overall average-ish kind of score. So, first of all is the flow of the album. I'm going to give the flow of the album a 4 out of 10. And that is being generous, I think. I thought, in terms of the tracks themselves, they did flow nicely together. They're all within that same world of this dystopian feeling electronic sound. So they did flow together, I guess. But, oh my word, how slowly did they flow together? Very slowly. And I'm not saying I don't like long tracks. I do like long tracks. But I like long tracks that change enough. For example, King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard did a 20-minute track. Well, they do massive tracks. But there's enough evolving within that track to keep interest going. Lyrics. There were no lyrics, so we're going to discount lyrics on this one. Artwork. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10, maybe a 3. It just looks drawn on like Microsoft Paint. Just all stuck together. Nothing's blending right. I'd commission someone to make album covers, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. Production. Production, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. I thought everything was well produced. I just thought more could have been done with the production. And if your main production idea is to loop things, then that's not great production. Great production should involve lots of small elements going on, things that have been removed, taken away, brought back in, ideas, not flooding places by just layering on synth over synth. You know, it's considering where things are placed within a track to keep attention going. And my last criteria is singing, but there's no singing, so we can remove that one. So overall, if I had to give this project a rating, I'd probably give it somewhere between a 3.5 to a 4. There is potential for so much more. The ideas are there. The story is there. The concept is definitely there. The sounds are there for the concept. The execution is not there. And I think that's where this album falls on its knees the most. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments, but I think that's what I feel. Now remember, I'm just one guy with one opinion, and this is a very unique taste, this type of music, and I completely understand and get that. I come to this as a reactor and a reviewer on a YouTube channel whose intention is for people to look at and listen to and see me react. And I wouldn't give people things to react that can be very long and monotonous. Reaction channels are very quick, fast-paced kind of stuff. But if you do like this and you disagree with me, let me know. Because in a world where everyone wants to be heard and no one's doing the listening, please be the one that does the listening. Goodbye, I guess.
Oh, I say.